Hello and welcome to the StudyTravel news video. I'm Matthew Knott.
And I'm Nicola Hancox, bringing you the latest news stories.
So the headlines this week, Australian parliamentary inquiry recommends tighter regulations for agents.
Languages Canada initiatives and positive visa settings at annual conference.
LILA moves into further education sector.
And much more, of course. So, further agent scrutiny in Australia then?
Yes, a parliamentary inquiry by the Joint Standing Committee on Migration has recommended a number of measures to regulate agencies in a report delivered to the House of Representatives.
The committee has recommended the establishment of an education agent register with performance data, and that educators should verify their agents have completed a government agent training course, have an IELTS score of 7, have undergone a police check, and have not had a contract cancelled in the last 5 years.
It also recommends a sanction system, reviews of contracts every year, a clearer complaints procedure for students, and a demerit system. The International Student Education Agents Association, or ISEAA, said the recommendations were a mixture of practical and impractical, noting that most agents are offshore and beyond jurisdiction.
During the inquiry, the Department of Education and Training and the Overseas Student Ombudsman reported that there were relatively few complaints about agents. ISEAA said its position was that the current system works, but that any bad practice must be exposed in a more timely manner. The recommendations will be debated over the coming months.
Okay, next up, the Languages Canada annual conference took place last week, and Hanks here braved the cold in Winnipeg to bring back news of association initiatives and some positive developments from Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, or IRCC.
Yes, Gonzalo Peralta, Executive Director of the association, unveiled new membership criteria to be rolled out this year, which he said would raise the bar in standards and oversight. Languages Canada is also piloting experiential learning experiences outside of the classroom and looking into work opportunities in Manitoba and Nova Scotia.
Meanwhile, IRCC announced that students no longer need a new visa to transition between study levels, and that pathway students will be permitted to work off campus. Get the words out.
Tongue-tied there.
Yeah.
UK ELT provider LILA has announced an entrance into the further education sector with a new sixth form college providing A-level programmes to be delivered at its existing site in Liverpool City.
Your turn now. LILA said that A-levels were the gold standard for university entrance and that students would also have the opportunity to do an extended project qualification. Those that need English language training will be able to join regular English language classes prior to commencing A-levels.
And now for a roundup of some of the other stories. The inward flow of international students into the UK is at its highest level since 2011, according to visa issuance data from the Home Office, which shows a 10% rise in visas granted in 2018, mostly driven by Indian and Chinese students.
UK-based ELT provider TEG English has announced a range of new English Plus programs for 2019. Topics include street art, leatherwork, photography, yoga, presentation and business.
Education New Zealand has announced an agent webinar that Japan will be the country of honour at this year's New Zealand International Education Conference, and a grant competition for overseas students currently undertaking research projects.
Australia's Tertiary Education and Quality Standards Agency, or TEQSA, English Australia and NIAS have partnered to develop a new resource for providers on regulatory expectations of ELICOS direct entry programs.
International House Manchester has announced a partnership for its IHM Football Academy with Soccer Assist, which will offer players the chance to progress to higher education scholarships in the USA.
Do you think it's too late for me? Thanks.
Just
the UK's international student market, student accommodation, investment opportunities across Europe, and the importance of partnerships between government, academia and industry were among the themes at the Class of 2020's Pan-European Regional Session in London last week.
And the Global University Systems Group has unveiled a range of new programmes and partnerships across its portfolio of private higher education institutions, including a new Masters in Innovation Design Management at the University of Applied Sciences Europe in Berlin.
More on all of those stories on our website, of course, as well as photos from the Languages Canada event, the first ever STalfie Hong Kong, and an AGM held by Spanish Agency Association ASAPROCE.
Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Goodbye.